Yo, what is up guys, JDCR PhD back with another video, and yes, it's been a while, but today we are back with the Beats Studio Wireless in matte black. So the main reason that I got the matte black version is mainly because it pretty much fits with almost every outfit that you have there just because it's black. And another reason is mainly because of how easy they are to clean now. But some of the other Beats out there, they are pretty like, I don't know the exact word, but they are very easy to smudge and get fingerprints all on them. On the matte black, it is just less noticeable, and then it is also a lot more easier to clean the fingerprints off just because of the matte black finish. So I've narrowed this kind of down to 3 things that I usually hear and see with people using their Beats or talking about them. The first one is whenever you're thinking about Beats or something, you usually think, oh my gosh, some expensive pair of headphones, or someone like LeBron James uses, or some big famous athlete. Well, Beats does use a lot of its money on advertisement as well as packaging and a lot of other stuff that goes into that. And another thing that people don't really know about these headphones until you actually get them is they are pretty bass heavy. Trap money, penny. Got me in my feelings. So that is just something to consider, just in case you are going to ever consider buying, especially the Beats Studio Wireless or just any of the Beats Studio products in general. They are like super bass heavy. Okay, so how do they feel and look? Well, they pretty much feel like premium headphones with how well they fit on my head and the ear cups they use. And another thing is that they do have ANC, which is active noise cancellation, as stated by CNET whenever I was looking up the specs. But basically, I know you had that friend or just that person that you know that has those Apple earpods that come with your iPhone, and they will be sitting a few desks away from you, and then you can still hear their music, and then you're just in your mind thinking in your mind like, well, if I can hear their music and I'm all the way over here, isn't that kind of loud? That's what basically noise bleed is. And if you have these bad boys on, it's gonna minimize that a whole bunch, because it is basically giving you a not even on, a over ear experience, because it is covering up your entire ear with these pads, and it's giving you that nice experience of sound, and it's just like sounds really good. There's almost zero noise bleed, I mean, depending on how loud you actually have these turned up. Now, another thing that I've noticed with a whole bunch of other reviews, people say that once you actually put them on and you have them on your ears for a bit of a while, that they actually start to clamp on your head and make your ears and stuff feel kind of uncomfortable. That really isn't the case for me, but I mean, my ears are perfectly fine, so I haven't really had any problems with them squeezing my head. So I mean, I don't really fall in that category, but I mean, they actually sound pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on towards the outer part of these headphones, the majority of the material that makes up like sort of the outer shell is a pretty hefty plastic, I would say. I'm not sure if they just stuck weights in here or anything just to make it feel more hefty, because I know like whenever you feel something and you pick it up, if it has more weight, we just automatically assume it's more expensive. If you do slide the ear cups down whenever you adjust it for your head, you can actually see some little metal pieces right here. So that is like pretty much the only metal part that I can see on these headphones, and as well as the screws, the little mini screws that hold all this stuff together. But that's pretty much all the metal that I can see, unless there's like anything in the inside that I'm missing, which I probably am, but outside wise, that's pretty much it. Moving on to the controls of the Beats Studio Wireless, there are actually controls built onto the headphones, so that way you can leave your phone in your pocket, you don't have to mess with it as much, which it tries to give you a hands-free experience. So basically, there are buttons on the left ear cup, and how you can know is because it'll say there's like a L right here for left and an R right here for right. But on the left side, there's a volume up, which is at the very top of the B. It's a clickable button, and then at the bottom of the B, that is the volume down. Now there's an actual button underneath the B logo, so once you press down, that's the pause. You can press it twice to skip a track, or you can press it 3 times to replay the same song that you just heard, basically. So that is very useful, and I'm glad that they included this. It just makes life a whole lot more simple. Okay, so let's just take a step back and talk about the packaging of the Beats Studio Wireless, or just any Beats products in general. So just like with advertisements, spreading the word, Beats usually has a pretty on point unboxing experience, or that is pretty much the packaging. But basically what you're gonna get is the headphones, the charging cable, and maybe the audio jack. I'm not sure if it comes with them anymore since they're Bluetooth. But me personally, I actually bought these Beats Studio Wireless Matte Black off of eBay, and the good thing about that is it didn't come with the retail packaging, sadly, but it did still come with the semi-hard carrying case as well as the charger. And I ended up saving a couple, not even a couple, actually a pretty decent amount of money since I actually didn't spend the whole retail price, you know, because I think whenever they first came out there was about $300 or so. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I believe they're still like $300 in 2018, so that's just something to think about. I gotta say, I really like the feel of the carrying case for the Beats. It's a semi-hard shell case that makes me feel comfortable throwing my $300 pair of headphones in there and not worrying about me breaking them. So that is just something that is very comfortable. Like, the case is right here. Actually, it's actually pretty hard, but not like super hard, but it's a pretty decent sized case, and you can fit all the cords or anything that you need in here, and it's just something that's great to have. I wish a lot of other headphone companies did this, just give you something to put your really expensive pair of headphones in. I mean, you don't just want to have these things lying around and then breaks one day. So I mean, just good to have. Now, something that is a little bit mind-boggling to me is that since Apple bought Beats pretty much, I'm still trying to figure out why they still have a micro USB port to charge. That's kind of weird. I would have thought that Apple would have implemented Lightning into these earbuds. I mean, not earbuds, but headphones by now, considering that they have it on all their other devices. They have it, I believe they even have it on the Beats X, but they didn't put it on the Beats Studios. That goes for these, the Beats Studio Wireless, and as well as the Beats Studio 3. Like, I just would have thought that would be like the standard by now. Another good thing about these headphones is they pretty much support all Bluetooth supported devices such as Mac OS, iOS, Android, Windows. I've tried it on pretty much everything and they all work perfectly fine, but I will say iOS and Mac OS seems to work just a smidge faster just with pairing, but I mean, maybe that's just because Apple actually owns the brand. Duh. Owning the Beats Studio Wireless for probably about 2.5 weeks or now or so. It really just depends on what time you're watching the video. Shout out to any one of my friends that's at school that's watching this video. You've been nagging me about when you're gonna make a new video. We're finally here. But owning these pair of headphones for, like I said, about 2.5 weeks or so, it's actually been pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I've used these for gaming a lot, Fortnite, because it has a pretty wide sound stage for me. I'm not an audiophile or anything, but they sound pretty good. You get at least 20 hours, depending on how hard or how heavily your usage is. Hopefully, you would not just listen to these things 24/7. They'll probably make your ears bleed or something. But they do last a pretty long time. I would say they would get you a full day, like, period. That's pretty much it. They last for a really long time. And another cool thing is that if your device doesn't support Bluetooth in 2018 for some reason, hey, they're still keeping around the headphone jack, guys. But I mean, a lot of phones in 2018, 2019, moving on further down the road, they will probably not even include headphone jacks anymore, but you still got it. And I know an audiophile out there probably just died of a heart attack because I just said their Beats sound good for some reason, and they're probably like, no, they sound terrible, they're muddy. No, I gotta say, for a pair of $300 consumer level headphones in general. They're not that bad. But either way, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Tell me what y'all think about the Beat Studio Wireless down in the comments below. I love reading y'all's comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Next video is right around the corner. Peace.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always, KB.